Every senior developer thinks in patterns. But most tutorials just list them without telling you when to use which one. In this complete guide, we cover the 8 most important design patterns used in real .NET applications: Singleton, Factory, Builder, Repository, Strategy, Observer, Decorator, and CQRS. With real code examples and a decision guide so you always know which pattern fits which problem. Let's go! Section 1. What are design patterns? A design pattern is a proven, reusable solution to a common software design problem. They were formalized in 1994 by the gang of four authors who documented 23 patterns in the Classic Design Patterns book. The 23 patterns split into 3 categories. Creational patterns deal with how objects are created: Singleton, Factory, Abstract Factory, Builder, Prototype. Structural patterns deal with how objects are composed: Adapter, Decorator, Facade, Proxy. Behavioral patterns deal with how objects communicate: Strategy, Observer, Command, Repository, CQRS. Patterns are not rules. They are guidelines. Use them when the problem fits. Section 2. Singleton Pattern. One instance, shared across the entire application lifetime. This is the most commonly used pattern and also the most commonly abused. Use Singleton for things that should genuinely be shared: configuration, logging, database connection pools, cache managers. In modern .NET, you rarely implement Singleton manually. The dependency injection container does it for you with AddSingleton. The DI container is thread-safe and handles the lifecycle correctly. Avoid Singleton for mutable state; it creates hidden bugs that are hard to test and reproduce. Section 3. Factory and Abstract Factory Patterns. The factory pattern lets you create objects without the caller knowing the exact class. The type of object to create is decided at runtime. Real .NET example: payment providers. You have Stripe, PayPal, and Razorpay all implementing iPayment provider. The payment factory create method takes a type string from config and returns the right implementation using a switch expression. The controller calls process async without knowing or caring which provider runs. Use factory when the type to create is determined at runtime from config, user choice, or a feature flag. Section 4. Builder Pattern. Use Builder when constructing a complex object that has many optional parameters. Instead of a constructor with 10 parameters, you get a fluent API where you chain only the parts you need. Email Builder example: to, subject, body, CC, BCC, attachments all optional. Each method sets one field and returns this. Call build at the end to get the final object. You've seen this pattern everywhere in .NET itself. Web application.createBuilder, iHostBuilder, SQL connection string builder. Use Builder when your constructor has more than 4 parameters or many of them are optional. Section 5. Repository Pattern. Repository is the most commonly used pattern in .NET APIs and the one that makes your code most testable. It abstracts all data access behind a clean interface. Define iUser repository with get by ID async, get L async, create async, update async, delete async. Implement it with EF core. Register the interface in DI. Your controllers and services inject the interface, they never touch DB context directly. In unit tests, you mock iUser repository and test business logic without a real database. This is the biggest benefit. You can also swap EF core for Dapper by just writing a new implementation. Section 6. Strategy Pattern. Strategy eliminates giant if-else chains and switch statements by replacing them with polymorphism. You define a family of algorithms behind an interface and inject which strategy to use at runtime. Discount strategy example. iDiscount strategy has one method apply that takes a price and returns the discounted price. No discount returns price unchanged. 10% returns 90%. Black Friday returns 50%. Price calculator gets an iDiscount strategy injected and just calls apply. Adding a new discount type means adding a new class, you never touch price calculator. That is the open-closed principle in action. Section 7. Observer pattern. One event, many reactions, completely decoupled. The order class publishes an event. Email handler reacts. Inventory handler reacts. Analytics handler reacts. Order knows nothing about any of them. In modern .NET, MediatR implements observer beautifully. You publish a notification like order created event. Every iNotification handler for that event fires automatically. You can add new handlers without touching the order code. Use observer for domain events, audit logging, notification triggers, and any scenario where one thing happening should cause multiple reactions. Section 8. Decorator pattern. Decorator adds behavior to an existing object without changing its source code. Both the original and the decorator implement the same interface. Caching decorator example. iUserService interface with getUserAsync. Real user service hits the repository. Cached user service wraps user service, it checks the cache first, returns on hit, falls through to the inner service on miss, and caches the result. The controller injects iUserService and never knows caching is involved. Stack decorators for multiple concerns, caching, then logging, then retry. All transparently. Section 9. CQRS, Command Query Responsibility Segregation. Separate reads from writes. Commands change state and return nothing or just an ID. Queries read state and never change anything. With MediatR and .NET, CQRS is clean and explicit. Create user command is a record with the data needed to create a user. Its handler saves the user and returns the new ID. Get user query is a record with just the user ID. Its handler reads and returns a user DTO. Controllers become thin dispatchers, they just call MediatR, send and return the result. Your business logic lives in focused, testable handlers. Section 10. Decision guide, which pattern for which problem. Here's how to choose. If you need to create objects of an unknown type, decided at runtime, factory. If your constructor has many optional parameters, builder. If you need one shared instance app-wide, Singleton via AddSingleton. If you need to abstract data access for testability, repository. If you need to swap algorithms at runtime without if-else chains, strategy. If one event should trigger multiple reactions, observer or MediatR Publish. If you need to add behavior like caching or logging without changing the original class, Decorator. If your commands and queries are mixed in the same service causing confusion, CQRS with MediatR. And the most important anti-pattern to avoid, using design patterns everywhere regardless of whether they solve a real problem. And that's Design Patterns in .NET, the complete guide. Singleton, Factory, Builder, Repository, Strategy, Observer, Decorator, and CQRS. With real code examples and a decision guide for choosing the right one. Think in patterns and your code becomes cleaner, more testable, and easier for any developer to understand. If this video helped you level up, smash the like button and subscribe for more .NET architecture content. Comment below which is your favorite design pattern. See you in the next one.